For the past 6 years, I've been part of the Henna Foundation, where we deal with very complex honor-based violence cases, and forced marriage is part of those cases. A few years ago, we had a young lady come and visit us. She was a victim of forced marriage. She was forced into a marriage by her family to a man that she didn't know. It was a legal marriage as well. She came to us at a point where that legal marriage and his status in this country was going to go from a spouse visa to getting indefinite leave to remain, so they would be in a long-term relationship after that. And she came to us at a point where she had nowhere else to go. It took us actually a long time to convince her that she needed to take action, to go through a process of getting the marriage annulled, to let the Home Office know what was going on. And it was a struggle because she did not want to lose her family. She was subject to a lot of emotional blackmail. And she struggled. We've offered her, to leave the family. We tried to tell her, look, we'll help you, we'll protect you, the police will protect you. But again, ultimately, she said she wanted her family, but she did not want to be married to this man any longer. And we had to help her, hold her hand throughout that whole process. It took, I think, approximately 18 months from start to finish. I think every case is unique. That's something I've had to learn along the way. No two cases are the same. People's motivations are very different. The dynamics of every family, every case we handle is very different. So you can't go into any case thinking, actually, I know how all this works and I'm going to apply what I think happens. You've got to find out what's going on from the start, really. I think you're working with not just an individual, you're not just working with a family, you're actually working within communities. And you can't just help one person. It's dealing with the family, it's dealing with the fallout, it's actually taking a lot of risks in helping individuals. And I don't think mainstream services or public sector services actually understand the complex nature of forced marriage or honor-based violence. A lot of the risk assessments, a lot of the way we work in Europe is very Eurocentric, which is understandable. And it doesn't take into consideration the cultural norms of minority communities. What we try to do with our work is not just help the victim, but actually leave a legacy with the family and actually getting them to change the way perhaps they live their lives and saying, this will be the last time this happens in our family. So that's what we try to do with our work. We try and change, one family at a time. If we can help one young person in the family, hopefully his or her siblings won't be in the same position, a few years down the road. So that's a big part of the work that we do. I really don't know if we can actually end it for good, because you are actually dealing with human nature. People, you can't fight everything and end it all at once. I think you can change it through education. You can change it through teaching families that there's actually an alternative, and the fact that you don't have to lose your children to forced marriage. It's about telling families that actually, if you have a positive relationship, if you have a positive attitude towards upbringing, raising your children well, and an open relationship, that's the route to a happy family, not forcing your children to marry somebody they don't want to be with.